the end of this video, it changes your perspective on how you look at your previous relationship. So you think you missed your ex, right? Or maybe you do miss him a little bit, but you're very confused. It's been weeks or maybe months later after your breakup. But what if I tell you that you don't necessarily miss your ex directly? You miss the love that you gave during that relationship. You miss how understanding, how honest, how pure, how graceful you were, how loving and selfless. You gave everything you had in this relationship, how you were there for them during their toughest times, how you picked up the call every time they needed, how even other people wouldn't understand how capable you were of keeping this relationship going that long, but you did it because of your selfless love. That's the person that you miss. So be able to differentiate the both, because at the end of the day, the person that kept it going and the person that loved the most wasn't the other side. It was you that kept it going. So that's the person that you miss, is the love that you gave when you were in that relationship. And nostalgia is a liar, because you're constantly replaying these good memories, which makes you feel like you miss them. It's like, think about Instagram and people have their highlight reels, right? Are people going to put their bad times during the highlight reels? No way. They're going to put their best moments. Same thing that's happening right now is you're constantly replaying those highlight moments of your relationship, just fixating on these good memories and completely overlooking the times that you would cry in the restroom, gaslighting yourself that you're not being patient enough, gaslighting yourself that, you know what, you're the problem, that what you're saying to your ex is not valid. That's not accurate, because you're missing all of this and just hyper fixating on these great moments. And even scientists have shown that emotional pain activates the same brain regions as physical pain. So when you're in bed, you might be in bed right now, and you literally feel like you're in pain and you can't get out of bed, you are not over exaggerating, because it's the truth. And your brain does not like danger. So what does it do? It's going to soothe you with all these highlight reels of all these good moments, of all the laughter you're going to be going through your text messages and or the screenshots and the photos. And your brain is going to associate these photos with good memories, even though you might have had a bad day taking this photo, or something might have happened during the day. It's only going to associate it with good memories. And that's when you think that you missed them, but in reality, you don't know the full picture. So it's important to know the science behind it, so you can self-analyze and be more critical when you start thinking, do I miss them? Or is my brain playing a trick on me? Up until now, your brain is going to continue to distort the past to make you feel better. And something that I heard that really put things into perspective is when you're going through a breakup, your brain releases extra dopamine. So when you're looking at these photos, let's say you're looking at a photo of you guys watching the sunset, your brain is releasing extra dopamine, and you're going to start missing that person more, because it's not reality. Your brain is releasing that extra dopamine. It's not even associated to the photo. So you need to be able to differentiate. And now that you know the science behind it, you'll be more aware when you look at these photos. Every time you think you miss him, you'll be able to know, do I really miss him? If you're feeling like this, you need to put the love that you gave into that relationship back into yourself. So instead of hopping or keeping yourself distracted by finding another person, put the energy back into you. Start doing things that you love. Start going to the gym, working out. Start making nice meals. Get yourself a nice latte. Hang out with your girlfriends. If you can't go on a trip, or take a plane to go on a trip, go on a road trip, or just hang out with them. Go for dinner. Put the energy back into you, because you need to start loving yourself the same way that you loved that person that didn't deserve it, that took it for granted. Because when you start opening your doors to meeting someone, right, you're going to have your standards of things that you won't accept moving to the next relationship. Because if you don't notice, or maybe you did, in your previous relationship, I know that when you brought up these comments or things that were bothering you, the opposite person probably said, oh, you're changing on me, what's happening? But in reality, they're just not comfortable of this person that you're evolving to. So now you could put your standards from day one. You know what you can tolerate, what you can't tolerate. But when you're jumping from one person to the next right away in like a 1-2 week span, you're overlooking everything that the other person has. He might be doing something that your ex didn't do, and you might be like, okay, this is the person for me because my ex didn't do that. But in fact, there's a whole other criteria that needs to be met, you know? So that's very important, to take time yourself to also understand what you want in a relationship and what you don't want, what you can tolerate, what you cannot tolerate. And this also goes, for men watching this, for women, it's very important to know what to expect from the next relationship. I did that helped me. Now that I'm healed, I can talk about it. But I wrote a letter after that relationship, right? Highlighting exactly why it did not work out and everything I put in my heart to make this relationship work out. And I have this letter stored somewhere. So every time I feel a type of way, I go back and read that letter. So that's important for you to do too, because sometimes these good memories are going to kick in. And when they do, you're just going to go back to the letter and you're going to be reminded why exactly it did not work out, you know? So just remember the science behind this video and behind exactly why you missed your ex. And after this video, go do something nice for yourself. And remember, you don't miss them directly, but you miss the love that you gave, right? And you're going to put the love back to yourself, okay? So that you can be the best person moving forward. You got this, and you're going to be great.